I was talking with my wife the other day, just about different things I've been, thinking about. And, they've been on my mind and my heart. And kind of fell into a habit that I've acquired of late, which is sort of expounding on things. The fruits of a lifetime of thinking about stuff. And decided that it was worth writing down, and then I thought perhaps it'd be worth sharing because maybe there's somebody out here who needs to hear it. And the thought that I was on at the time was this: that as a Christian, the God I serve and the faith I hold is dangerous. Now I know here in the West, we don't really think of it that way. We think Christianity is sort of the soft option. It's love, 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 peace, 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 prosperity, heaven. That's not really the case, though. This can cost you your livelihood. It can cost you your life, depending on where you are. And that comes into conflict with sort of what we're taught as Western Christians. It's like, no, 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 no. God, the loving and merciful Father, He wouldn't allow us to come to harm. He wants us to be prosperous and happy. No. Actually, He wants us to be useful. Our God is a sovereign God. He is the mighty King of the universe, and He has His own plans and His own schedules. All right, we are His children, and He does love us. But just as any child is the servant of their father, so we are servants of the Father. All right, He will give us what we need to do His work. Our provision is founded in Him, but by no means are we going to be rich. All right. And as for happiness, well, He gave us Himself. So we labor at all times in the joy of the Lord, if not always in happy feeling. Sometimes the joy of the Lord is carried out with, grit teeth or bloodshot eyes because life is hard sometimes. All right. Another thing is our lives, our very lives, are His, and not just in the, I'll do what God wants me to, but it might be in the dying. A lot of people these days are easy enough with the idea of living for God, even if they don't really want to live for God. They want God to be sort of an accessory of their activities. But the idea of dying for God is something that, people think is for, Paul. When in point of fact, there's still a lot of dying for God going on in this world. Martyrdom is a staple fate of great missionaries and lay people around the world. Again, not here in the West. We're blessed that way, that we live in free and open societies. But in other places, the blood of the saints is still being spilled daily and copiously. And it's in those places that the message of the gospel is going forward the most. Because these deaths point the way to God, because people want to know, what was it that was worth dying for? All right? And so that's how the gospel marches on, in toil and spent blood. It doesn't resemble in any way safety. The good news is that what God is, if not safe, is good. He will not deny the harvest, and He will bless the work of those who do His will. He will not waste the lives of His saints. So, some plant, some water, and some harvest. Some plant, whether by showing care, by giving in love, or by offering consolation, or sometimes by hurling a rebuke. Some water, whether through mentorship, careful teaching, prayer, or even by the shedding of their own blood. Some harvest, oftentimes not knowing what was spent to nurture the seed. Sometimes, though, the one who plants and waters is allowed to bring in the harvest. And that is one of God's sweetest mercies. Regardless of your place, though, whether you are planting, tending, harvesting, or if you're the field, God is working. And to join him is to take part in the epic work of eternity and to do the most good that a human can do. Please, though, please, I'm begging you, if you raise your hands to this work and you join this cause, do not expect to be safe.